Alright, here I'm showing off next to the list is this Hoover Nano Lite bagless compact upright vacuum. I've had this now for 3 years. I got it from a old neighbor of mine that passed away. So this was actually one of the 3 vacuums that was given to me. This along with a Oric that's right there, and a blue Dirt Devil Vision swivel glide that I already did a video on. This was pretty much the condition it was in when I found it, and this is actually my second take that I'm doing a video on this, because the first time I did a video of this just a short while ago, I actually had some dirt inside the canister to where the suction was just piss poor. So I emptied it out, I cleaned the filter. Other than that, I didn't do much else with this other than using a leaf blower to basically dust the machine out. So anyways, I've actually wanted one of these for quite some time. So back in the day when these were being sold in department stores, it was actually during the time when I grew increasingly less interested in the vacuums, just mainly due to the fact that they were not being made like they used to, not look as cool as they were. I mean, at least from my generation. But this was actually one of the vacuums that stood out to me on display. As a matter of fact, I really did like the looks of this one. Not only was it a cool looking machine, but also if we would have still had our old trailer, this actually would have been a great alternative to have. But in all of honesty, if I could have, I would have simply bought another Eureka Optima over this during that timeline, or even a Dirt Devil Dynamite Plus, because for one, and this was pretty much why I had to do a second take. So since this is bagless, this is pretty similar to what a bagless temple is. So you got the dirt coming in through there inside of this dirt cup. It is not cyclonic. So because it isn't cyclonic, and where the airflow is coming out through the back of the filter and into there, dust would just easily clog up the filter, even worse than the paper bag. And yes, I really did wish they could have went with a bagged version of this for that reason. So even though I like that this has a self-cleaning filter thing similar to like on the wind tunnels, these would just clog up almost instantly. At least it's not as pathetic as the temples, where they just have like bad seals around the filter. But anyways, that's one reason. The second reason is that it uses a rubber belt. I like that this has a clutch to turn the brusher off to do bare floors, just like what we had in our second trailer where we had a mixture of rugs and bare floors. I like the Optima because it was a dual motor machine with a geared belt to where the belt never did have to break. Not to mention, if something did got caught in the brush hole, it would just shut the brush hole off. This doesn't have that. So, and even with the Dynamite Plus, it had a squeegee on the bottom to where that could have simply did bare floors on the trailer no problem, to where this was just not necessary to have. But I still did like the idea of it. But nonetheless, I do like this machine. Yeah, not only is it a cool looking machine, but I do honestly overall think that this is a good machine. Definitely would have bought this over like a Dyson DC-24 for the trailer, but if I really did had to pass up on the Optima and gotten something else instead during this timeline, I would have just simply went to my old local vacuum store and got a sanitary instead, because I had a bag inside. And those machines were sold for quite a while, to where they not only would have stacked up on parts for quite some time, but also it was the most durable and reliable machine I could have bought back in the day. But anyways, I still do like this machine more than the other bagless Hoovers that were sold under Maytag, and especially Whirlpool before they were sold off to TDI. I like the simplicity of being a compact design, to where I mean, it's just very easy to take apart, especially inside the dust cup. I'll give them that, because even a Dyson DC-24 would have been kind of pain to clean up. But also it has a telescoping handle that would have just simply stored very easy. Like I said, I like the idea of having a clutch. You can easily take the hose off from here to unclog it. And then also, I really do like that this hose has a way to where you can untwist it off, to where you don't have to push it down all the way, to where it would have been hard to take the hose out, or not push it in all the way to where the hose would have popped out on you. And even this crevice tool also has that similar thing, just like on the Panasonic, to where the tools would just stay on firmly. So I really like that. As you can see here, this is missing what appears to be the dusting brush. But other than that, it's in pretty good condition. So there's the model info right there. I also do like that this has rubber wheels, especially for such a cheap machine. Because even some of the expensive vacuums only come with plastic wheels during this timeline. So it's got a nice brushless, similar to the Eureka Optima or even the Dirt Devil Dynamite Plus. But one thing I will say that I dislike is just how wide the belt protection is right there. I mean, it's just so that nothing gets caught inside the belt to where it can wear out very easily. But yeah, try to show off everything on camera here, but yep, got the warning labels. And also, unlike the Dynamite or the Optima, I can simply take this machine apart to where I can easily have access to this post filter right there. So I know the Dynamite doesn't have it, and taking the post filter off my Optima would have been a pain anyways, because it's like glued on there such. But anyways, without further ado, I will go ahead and run this machine. Even though I did have to redo this machine to clean the filter out, it does have a worn out belt, so you'll be able to hear the brush roll running, but it's going to immediately stop when I put it on the rug. Turn this on. Anyways, hope you've enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.